This meeting is being recorded.
Driver will call, Mr. Madden?
Yep.
Mitch Hodson?
Here.
James Coyle?
Here.
Scott Patchin?
Here.
And Louis-Reindl?
Here.
Jared Brammerson?
Here.
Terry Moyer? Here. And Tyler Munson?
Here.
Right. Pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Proof of posting, a copy of this notice was delivered on 4/29. It was faxed to Star News, posted at the Black Earth Municipal Building and the Black Earth Post Office, posted on the Black Earth webpage, www.blackearthwisconsin.com, and faxed for posting to the State Bank of Cross Plains Black Earth Branch. Any public input? All right, no public input, hearing none, we'll move on to action item number 5. Organizational committee assignments. Everybody got their list? There was some drawing names out of hats because everybody wanted the same committees, but.
I'd move approval.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries with a V. All right, proclamation acknowledging annual professional municipal clerks week, May 1st through the 7th, 2022.
Motion, we adopt the proclamation for the 53rd Annual Professional Municipal Clerks Week, May 1st through May 7th, 2022, this evening.
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your service. Thank you. Nice job.
All right. C, discussion action on operator's license for Grace Louis-Reindl.
I'd move approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna mark you down as abstained on that one. Yes, please. Okay, thank you.
All right, D, discussion action on request from Tyler Munson to waive the concession fees, concession stand fee for the, on behalf of Wisconsin High youth tennis and baseball teams.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody
I'm
read
trying to find my screen here again. I don't know what happened. I closed something down.
The old Fonz.
We can hear you.
We can hear you, Tyler.
It's open.
All right.
So when does, he just wants to be able to open?
I think the intent was if they wanna open up at like other games and stuff, that they wouldn't have to pay a $75 fee every time because they don't already have that money to begin with for the youth league.
But that's what he's using it for the youth leagues and wants to open up during like what, home talent in?
Yeah.
No.
Not home talent, but
During their games, I think.
like high school games and
Oh.
stuff,
Yeah.
or,
Tyler, do we have that right? Can you hear us okay?
I switched to my speaker to CMS system, and I fixed it.
So right now, we're not charging home talent to use it during their games, right?
correct.
So we can't charge it right now for them then. until we come up with something,
Don't we have a policy?
we don't, on how,
It's been talked about, it's never been finished.
yeah.
So we've never written anything up.
No.
So,
Until we do that and decide what we wanna do to charge,
we waive
I
it
think
for
we
now.
just waive it for now.
If we don't have a policy, how does the $75 rental fee, where does that play in?
That's what was talked
Well,
about.
I mean, that's the rental fee for if anybody uses it.
Yep.
Use as a shelter.
Okay, so that is in place.
That is in
For-
place then.
For our residents, yes, but we've never
We've never done
charged
it for
a group,
organizations.
we've never charged an organization for usage.
I'm gonna go ahead and move we waive the fee for that organization. Now do we have discussion?
He's trying.
Sorry, I'm here now.
Okay. So we got a motion on the floor to waive the fee in a second. Any more discussion?
Okay, who made the motion?
I made the motion, Pam seconded.
Just one question, I mean, I completely support this, but is this something we should just consider waiving for any organizations that want? I mean, are we gonna do this on a case-by-case basis if somebody else comes to us?
I think let's start, see if they can come up with a.
Yeah. That would be good,
See what they can do, so.
because I
Terry?
think it's really, yeah,
I would personally not want to say that we just blanket say any nonprofit is available to do that, because there are ways to have nonprofit organizations that really are still benefiting the individual and not the community. So I think it would be good
Okay.
I think it would be good for the board to still review it on a case by case basis.
that sounds good, perfect, thank you.
Or
Yep.
parks, yeah.
For parks, yeah, you might go back to parks, yeah.
All right, so we got a motion and a second on the
Yep.
floor. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
And I'm going to abstain.
We had one name,
One nay, so it passes.
wait, before you proceed, we have a question in the chat. Shelley, I hope Mitch would read off who was assigned to the various committees. I'm primarily interested in EDC and Gateway. Can you put those in chat or email tomorrow? Peter, our email is not working, so email is not an option right now. You want to read these?
Yeah, you can read them out. I
You
don't-
can just tell, yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Peter, EDC, it was, Mitch Hodson, Louis-Reindl, Tyler Munson, Salviel, Jordan Sims, Miles Veritak for the Chamber, and you for Gateway. I do not have an alternate on this one.
Yeah.
You know, Gateway, Mitch is assigned Jared Brammerson and himself as an alternate.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay, so let's go to E, ratification on resolution 2022-01, requesting assistance for the state for the Noel Nelson Stewardship Grant for the Blackers Creek Fishery, Cooper Park and Trailhead.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
It is, and Scott, yes, I did make a correction to my copy. Okay, so this is a ratification of a resolution that we put in, knowing that the village wanted to apply for the Noel Nelson grant. It's deadline before we could meet to pass this, which is why it's a ratification. So, we did get the application in for a $100,000 grant. It's your cost of it.
Make a motion to approve. Okay, any discussion?
Can I have a little bit of clarification on
Sure.
where it says hereby authorizes Shelley Benish, but all that, and go down where it says to sign documents and to take action necessary to undertake, direct, and complete and approve grant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, which you've already, okay.
Yeah, all
Okay,
that.
I just needed that clarification, thank you.
All right, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I
Opposed? Opposed? Carries. All right, discussion, number F, discussion action on resolution 2022-02, carryover funds from 2021 general fund and library.
Yep, you're gonna see two resolutions in front of you. The first resolution, is the village general fund, for courts and clerks and public works, et cetera. The second resolution is library only that Bailey put together there. So a little bit different in that our village resolution is carrying over from the same fund into the same fund. And in library's, resolution, her overall funds, I think, are being distributed to different accounts.
And some of the carryover funds offset the budget already, we discussed that in the budget meeting, so it's just a resolution for what we already agreed upon, so.
Give me another same resolution.
Okay?
We're gonna carry the same resolution numbers for both.
Oh, yep, Bailey's got the same resolution, and it's fine to do that because we're doing all of the carryover funds together. It's just that hers are, like I said, different funds. All same, still general fund money, so. Makes sense.
Make a motion, we approve the resolution for carryover funds.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You were for, right, Tyler?
Yes.
Okay, discussion action regarding village board minutes, 4/12/2022.
Move approval.
Motion, Jared seconded, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. Discussion action on financial treasurer's report.
Okay, I did hand out some additional revenue and expense reports tonight on the utility budgets. I cannot roll those out until end of the month billing is complete, which we finish on Monday, because that impacts the April numbers. Starting with your treasurer's report, that is all accounts, and this is through the end of March of this year. We're sitting with $4.3 million in all accounts at this time. There's not a whole lot going on other than expenses that were approved at last month's board meeting. Loan payments will start coming out in the next couple of months. We typically see a huge loan payment May 1st. Look for those. Moving to revenue and expense reports on the general fund. The revenue and expenses are through the month of April, where it's expected we would be at about 33% in at least our utility funds. General fund won't see the budget numbers usually until August when they do the tax settlements. General fund revenues are currently at 7.8% with expenses at 29.8%. Electrical revenues are sitting at 28% with expenses at 30.5%. Water revenues are at 30%, expenses at 24%. Sewer revenues are at 27% and expenses at 20%. Our utility revenues are slightly below what I would have expected for this time of the year. Our rate case application is in on the electrical utility. We're starting to get questions from the PSC on our application and adjusting some numbers as we move through that. Again, I mentioned loan payments will be reflected in May's reports on revenue and expenses. Our utility budget still needs to be approved yet. Last year, we went through the whole year with unapproved utility budgets. Hopefully, we can get those taken care of sooner than later. Let us know when you want to do that. The annual reports are in for water and electric to the PSC as well, and kudos, I'm going to give to Matt now, you'll hear me say it later too, but our water loss is down considerably. Last year's water loss, remember, was at 17% loss. This past year, we saw it go down to 9%. We've been really active on changing those processes, so I'm pretty excited to see that. electric continues to run in the red yet. Hopefully with our rate case, we can see those numbers move in a more positive direction, but we won't know that yet. Our large power customers are still down. I would have expected. Again, you'll know that I put in the Knoll grant, that funding was for $100,000. Hopefully, we'll hear something within the next month or two. We're finalizing FEMA on the fire station. I got contacted by FEMA, literally Friday. They had to rewrite Community Park. We should hopefully see that, if you remember, I don't know if you'll remember, but they wrote Community Park and lowballed it at $50,000 estimate for repairs, and I would not sign off on it. I said, no, we know that it costs a lot more to do that. Their estimates were based off of things like going to Lowe's for wood and whatever, I'm like, So they rewrote it. I think this is the best we're gonna get. They rewrote it for a little over $100,000. And they looked specifically, of course, at the ball field and the old stand, not the new concession stand. And they gave us $8,000 for hazard mitigation, so that helps with that number. But then they decreased it by $17,000 because we didn't have flood insurance on that part. So federal monies off of that is at 75%. We should see about $67,000 come back on community. Fire station was still outstanding as well, and all of those, provided our email went through. They should see a check for about $47,000 come back, and then donated time was the only thing left outstanding from the work that to close that out. I have it.
Make a motion to approve
I
financial.
just have one question,
Second.
sewer and
I'll
water.
second.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, it's on the floor. Were we running at a better percentage on both water and,
Yeah, water and the sewer utility are doing pretty well.
I noticed a discrepancy in the percentages, like a 27% and 20.
Usually they run the same. What I see is sewer's down slightly, and I'm not sure what would cause sewer to be down from the water. Typically, they're about the same,
Right.
their meter's the same. We haven't had any adjustments off of the sewer yet, so.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Discussion action on invoices to be paid. Make a motion to approve the invoices to be paid.
Ordered.
Okay. All right, now, any discussion?
Does TDS ever give us credit when we have these problems?
Well, you know, say that. Talked to them today to ask that very question, and they said after it gets resolved that I should contact them again, and.
I mean, this happened just a couple months ago too, though. I mean, it happened.
It's happened like 3 times in the near recent.
Yeah, so if they don't give us credit, maybe you should look around.
Any discussion?
The, weed and pest control, that's outside of what we do for the parks? Or is that part of?
Nope, that would just be actual for weed control, it's just kind of put in as weed and pests, but, so that's just for spraying for weed control, like set outside for, landscaping beds, then we gotta do weed control on the streets to get the weeds come up in between the cracks or along the curb and gutters,
Gotcha.
stuff like that. Yes, that would be outside of, hired out for the parks or contractor for the parks.
No, we actually, I think we approved it in Public Works. That didn't go to Parks when we approved
Right.
London Limited to do the area.
That would be Public Works, that portion.
No, I know, but they did it in the park.
Yeah.
That's what, I think that's what
Right.
I
Yep, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
It got approved in Public Works to do the maintenance on the Veterans Park,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if this was part of the annual weed and feed that we do, or if this was something separate outside.
Separate too.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right. Committee reports. Well, this should be easy. There hasn't been a lot of meetings since the last one, so. We have not had a Vanguard, but, Sean, you're on.
Yep, I'm here. Yep.
Want to give us a quick update?
What you
Sure.
been doing?
Quick update here. We've been doing a little bit of work on Highway KP. It's kind of a little bit of a continuation of a project that we started last year. We had materials that were purchased last year, and we're just kind of putting them in the ground, kind of finishing that up. We had a bad transformer on Center Street here that we actually changed out today. Just kind of a older transformer that ended up failing on us, so that is changed out. Been hooking up a few new services here and there. I expect that to probably pick up here fairly shortly, if we ever get some nice weather. And also out at the high school, we're planning on here in the next couple weeks, hopefully, hooking up their new service to the addition. Other than that, since the last time, that's just pretty much about it.
The fire district has not met. Oh. Do you know the next date for Vanguard?
I believe it is May 17th. Yes, May 17th, I believe.
Black Earth Fire District will be 6:30 Thursday night, this Thursday.
Thursday?
Yeah. Hey. Not like, short notice there, Terry.
That's okay. What is it, 6:30?
Yeah,
6:30. Is that at the station?
yeah, it should be on the agenda, I emailed you.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I actually thought you sent that to me in air, and then I realized it was a committee.
all right, Dan, Iowa.
Dane and Iowa met on April 21st. No discharge violations, went over bills. The true up is done. We will, see credit on the bill for April and May, and June, they'll just cut the check for the final amount. Black Earth received back, $59,053. Next meeting will be, May 19th at, 6:30.
Not having EDC either, but our next one is not, we're gonna do it after a committee assignment, so not made a date yet. Will be soon here. Emergency management, same thing, right?
Yeah. Just sent out an update, this is a note from the county on where they're at with the hazard mitigation overall, that we did updates to. That's slow, but they're making
EMS,
We have not met since March. We will be meeting May 12th at 6:30.
library board.
We met on, April 19th.
First of all, I'd like to state within the meeting, today is Bailey's one-year anniversary with us. We're all very happy she's here. Just a couple things, they are, at that point, the superintendent was making a decision between two candidates because Angie has stepped off to, as the school liaison or school rep. So but they have appointed somebody, because I think she's, Bailey's gonna be doing, orientation with that person and myself, next week. So we did get a new school person. We did discuss also Bailey's one-year evaluation, and Bailey presented, documents and forms. So we're gonna be conducting a one-year, evaluation, discuss the format, so that's moving forward. And she's got some pretty fancy carpet options she's been looking at for flooring. That was fascinating to me, but, you know. So, that was about, our next meeting is May 17th. Good meeting.
Is that at 7?
Yeah, 7.
So, like Terry said, we last met on April 19th. I think I mentioned maybe a month or two ago, that we were updating our website, and we were undergoing a website migration. So we today officially received the prototype for that. So we're testing it out, trying to break it, and then once we figure out that it's indestructible, it'll go live so that, everyone else can enjoy it as much as we are. We've also been doing some children's area rearranging, so if this is the library, you may have noticed that our big caterpillar thing is gone, but that's just to create more space for play, and to make it more accessible and well. So we're taking a look at what our children's room looks like and trying to make it a better space. As Terry mentioned, we're looking at some flooring options, and we're specifically looking for flooring that has sound dampening qualities, as well as doesn't require as much yearly maintenance as our carpet does. So we're looking at alternatives to carpet, and we're also exploring all kinds of design features. You can tell which one I'm more excited about. We do have a new school district rep named and more, so her orientation is in process. My meet and greet last Saturday went pretty well. We had 4 attendees, so that's a good amount for us to be able to have a chat. And I was really impressed with the turnout and the conversations that we had about the community and the library and how the library can help the community grow. And it's just time for me to get to know the people that did come a little bit better. I'm starting a walking book club, so that's going to be the first meeting is going to be June 11th, which is a Saturday at 2:30. So it's an opportunity for adults to get together, go for a walk around Black Earth, and also just discuss whatever it is they've been enjoying recently, whether it's a book or a show or a podcast. We're also doing rock painting in Veterans Park on May 27th. That's an early out day for the school, but it's an all ages event, so adults can come and enjoy too. We'll have all the supplies provided.
What date was that?
May 27th.
Okay.
The next Friends meeting is May 11th at 5 p.m. They are looking for a new Friends president. And then summer library program starts in June, so we're well underway on the planning for that. We've probably been thinking about it since January, so we are ready. And our next meeting, as Terry said, is on May 17th.
All right, thank you. Public Works, Pat.
Public Works had a meeting Monday, April 4th, 10 a.m. Sean had brought you up to date on Vanguard. We also talked about those things. Substation, billing audit, and rate case update were all on our scope, but we're still waiting on something about land for the substation. Our original plan just kind of went we're looking for another place. Discussion action on the Cooper property. Parks has made some pretty good, strides as far as, creating some new ideas for down there. Is it ours yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
Worked out.
that kinda holds up things, you
Well,
know.
it's ground, well, it's the DNR and.
No, I mean, I totally understand, but,
Just don't panic.
Yeah.
It's not here.
and we talked with Town and Country Engineering on some funding opportunities. Talked about crack filling and chip sealing this here on Turkey Road and some other places in town. And other than that, my constant vigil is to buy a jetter and a street sweeper. And then with that, I'll hand it over to Major.
So to extend or on the crack filling, chip sealing, Public Works did approve Turkey Road, to spend and $2,000 to crack fill it, $3,500 chip seal it. And that's in conjunction with the township doing their portion. So they gave me the information and just said we get a good price because it's all at one time. So that worked out pretty well, but Scott mentioned we're doing stuff in the village, looking into it and trying to get some prices back by Monday's meeting for that. Started to do some grass cutting in between the rain showers and the cold weather, brush chipping, corrals. I've seen some locates come in for that, so I believe that project will be continuing hopefully in the next week or two. Valve exercising for our valves on our water mains. About third done with that. We have some stubborn valves that I get a power wrench from Wisconsin Rural Water, just for free, since we pay in dues and that. They have equipment that we can use, so it's free to us to use it. We used it last year, it worked out great.
Is that a pneumatic?
Nope, this is actually just electric. We got a generator we can run it with, so it works out real nice. Waiting kinda same thing with the stumps in the park on the weather to be fair for that, schedule wise. We did have, I thought, with the tower project, the mulcher was supposed to be rented with McFarland's. A little snafu with that, in their computer system that the rental did not get put in. They had two machines. Only one of their machines was completely totaled out. Down the list as far as getting that done, and the weather really hasn't been cooperative either, because it gets pretty muddy up on that hill. I did go on a field trip with a sales rep, looked at one jetter, just as a certain brand, not one that was for sale, but just to see if we liked that brand. It was good. It was about 12 years old, so I'll keep on the hunt for that. Park bathrooms are open. Down at Press Box at Home Talent, we did have a situation with a lock down there that was, I guess you could say, vandalized. We're guessing that a stick was jammed into the lock. I talked to Vinny and Cartman. No luck with getting any photos or video from the school. They said they didn't see anything on their video. So just that cost, unless we can hear through the grapevine something that happened. But so equipment is put away. Tomorrow I'm meeting with Scott's Construction, looking at chip sealing in the village, and I've made some phone calls trying to get companies to come in to look at tree options, maybe landscape options to spruce up Veterans Park. They've all told me that any of the work would not be completed this year because everybody's booked already for the season. So, which is fine, we can start to get some numbers for budgeting for next year. All I got.
When's the next meeting?
May 10th.
Monday.
And we did, or sorry, May 9th, and that's at 10 a.m. All right. Does that work? You remember?
Yeah, it'll work.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. Yep, no, that'll work.
Okay.
Parks.
So we met April 18th. We started out at Veterans Park, but then due to the weather, we moved inside to the village here.
Smart.
Yeah. We've decided to forego meeting at the park until we can guarantee at least decent weather, so maybe next month. We spent a good portion of the time talking about the Noel Nelson grant, which went through earlier this evening. Just some keynotes out of there. We're looking at putting in gazebo and some benches and landscaping on the west side of the road, so that there's two portions there. We have the east side by Quick Trip, and then the west side, there's kind of just an open field at the moment, or open lot. So we talked about putting like a gazebo and just kind of a little rest area in there, looking at, targeting kind of the older folks in that area versus a playground per se. So we talked about that. We'd also talked about putting, this is all part of the grant, but getting hedges put in along the southern edge to kind of give the residents there a little separation between the park. And then we talked about just general parking lots and other benches and items that we want to get in there. So that was the big portion of our meeting. Then we just kind of went into some general updates around the community park. We're talking about, we had a light for the flagpole, but then the wind crazy on us and took it out, so we're going to look at other options for getting a light on the flagpole there.
Update on that, there's a solar light that just came in, Vanguard will put it in
Oh, yeah?
when the weather's dry, but this one is actually a top mount shining down,
Oh,
Great.
perfect.
so.
Are they charging us for it?
What's that?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they're gonna rip the line.
Oh, yeah. Gotta ask, you know? Yeah, we talked about the ball fields. The Bombers are going to work on painting the old concession stand, so just kind of keeping that nice and tidy so it doesn't get dilapidated, if you will. What else have we talked about? Some general mulching, weeding type conversations. We talked about the tree replacements. That's ongoing. We're looking at potentially bringing in an arborist to help us with that placement and selection of trees. We want to try and get stuff that is going to be local to the area, you know, disease resistant, so in 10 years then we're not replacing them because some other bug came through and wiped them all out, so.
There was on Facebook, I don't know if it's a historical site or what, but in '63, like the same thing, 5 trees had to be cut down, soft maples, because of rotting.
Yeah, and it wasn't maples what we were looking at?
Yep,
So,
so, yeah, like I said, we're trying to get
Right.
different variety if possible.
Third time's a charm, right?
Yep.
What else did we talk about? We did a kind of ice rink year in review to talk about how that went. A lot of positives. There were a couple negatives, but
Can I ask,
Yeah.
did anybody write down detail of that, because I need to supply that for the grant?
the ice rink?
Yep, an, update, like, how it went a year
Oh, I don't think we did really anything formally, but we can.
Do you have anything from y'all?
Yeah, probably just what I have here.
Formal.
I can show you this.
Somebody
But
can-
yeah, we
Yeah,
can.
we can get some minutes, I would think.
Somebody can baffle up a paragraph.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, it's good. We're gonna probably keep it in the same area, but move it out of the gate. I think that's one of the things we talked about, but we also talked about maybe it might be worth keeping in the gate. It's, you know, there's future discussions. We don't wanna get into too much detail there. We, talked about, requiring a planner. If we were going to bring a planner in from a parks perspective, what would that look like? What would we want a planner to do for us? So we kind of talked about that a little bit. And then we talked about pet projects. So right now, we've got pickleball as a option, putting in for recreational type stuff. From what I gather, it's the easier version of tennis, the less mobile version of tennis.
Grandpa
Way I'm
can
looking
play
at it.
grandson.
Yeah, it would be something that I would probably do. I know we talked about, I'm looking at a bike trail, mountain bike trails, connecting in with all the multi-use trails and trying to figure out how we can maybe make some kind of tourism around the trail itself and what we can do there. So ongoing for both of those things. That's about as much detail as I have for that right now. Our next meeting was scheduled for May 10th, but just found out right before this meeting that there is a Board of Review meeting at the same time. So we will figure that one out in the next day or two here. It should be right around the same day though, 11th or 12th or something like that. Depending on when all the other meetings overlap. All I got.
Okay, thank you. Scott, please.
Parks, or Police Committee, no meeting, and, well, I'll leave that up to
Perfect
them.
time for an update then.
Perfect time.
Basil contacted me and said they might be interested in a joint thing in the future, but not now. a little disappointed.
Did they give you any reasons why not right
A
now?
lot of different reasons they said, and some of it was, they're not sure if they wanna expose themselves to less coverage when the officer's here. There's all kinds of reasons, but hopefully we talk a little more coming up. So then I'd ask Shelley to get a hold of the captain and get some, interviews lined up.
So, yeah, that job was posted out last week, Friday, so give them 2 weeks, and then they'll
The
start
police
planning.
committee can,
I'd like to know how many people apply for that.
Kind of what I was wondering too.
everybody that works in the jail.
I mean, there's no shortage of it. Everybody wants, and there's no shortage of people, they don't wanna be in there.
Right?
I don't know, I think that there's a lot of the people that have been here have moved on to bigger and better things, right? Or
Okay.
the detective from us, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good stepping stone.
Maybe a hot spot.
Yeah, good way to look at it. Did,
We're having our going away party for Vinny on Friday.
Do you have a next police meeting?
I do not.
Okay,
I think we were gonna see.
That's fine. all right. That's it for reports.
And just, Danny mentioned we are having Vinnie's little going away luncheon Friday here, so I do have a card. If any of you, want to sign it or do any donation, we're doing donations, I think, for a gift card for her. But,
I think we'd rate her a ticket.
Coffee with the cops, of course, will start at 10, a little bit later than usual, just on that day, so folks have a chance to come in and, and then we'll segue into a little lunch and have a cookout. Lots of people starting to donate stuff, so.
Good.
Item number 7, consideration motion to enter into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.85, parent 1, parent C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governing body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. Employee reviews. Roll call.
All right, Mitch Hodson,
Yes.
Terry Moyer,
Yes.
Tyler Munson,
Yes.
Thanks, Bailey.
James
Thanks,
Coyle,
Yes.
and Louis-Reindl.
Yes.
Scott Patchin,
Yes.
Aaron Brammerson.
All right.
And then an official motion and second, so.
oh,
Yeah. I'll make a motion. We go into closed session.
second.
All right.
Isn't
the
that why you were
sun
doing
is
roll
out.
call anyway?
The sun comes out.
The sun comes out.
Yep, what did we say about that? All right, Danny, how do we do this to keep Tyler and everybody else up?
And went Camden this weekend?
It's when it's up above that it's coming in.
All right, we're recording.
Being recorded.
All right, nothing in closed session can be repeated.
You need that paperwork back?
I don't need your paperwork, okay?
Lost any other paperwork here?
Did you note the motion?
Never forget the Shelley.
I'll make a motion, it's just a straightforward, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so
Are you out of session?
we are, and I'm recording, so. All right, so you want me to make the motion? Okay, I'll make a motion that we do an increase of 4% across the board.
I'll second.
Am second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Two of you opposed? Okay, 2 opposed. Any other business can be brought before the board for future agendas? All right, meeting announcement.
Can I ask a question?
Yep.
Can I ask,
We didn't really discuss that. I thought that was already approved to go full-time.
It was for you guys to approve.
Tonight?
We can still do that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to say yes, that second village clerk position should go full-time.
I'll second it with
Do
one
we
question.
need
It
it?
was budgeted as full-time for this year,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm good.
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Right.
It was budgeted.
Not like as in tomorrow, right, it's gonna,
July.
I mean,
July.
July.
Yeah.
July.
Is that to be at the 4% like everyone else then?
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Was that for or against, Tyler?
That was 4.
I thought so. Thank you. All right. Any other, okay, meeting announcements. Board of Review is May 10th, 6 to 8. Board meeting June 7th. There is a very good possibility I will not make that one, depending on how well I heal.
How about you stay home and just.
Yeah, okay, how about we do that?
I'm pretty sure we'll manage without you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably won't be at that
We
one.
might even have fun.
I mean, we can move it the following week too.
No, that's not gonna matter, because otherwise he'll push it even
No,
harder.
try to get there too,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just do it and.
Yeah.
stay
Do
home.
it, get it over with, so that he
You
can.
just elect a person for the meeting and you're good to go. All right. I move we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. I gotta go get my stamp.
Yeah.
And you don't need any of this, right? So,
No.
Welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
Your Sunday equals destroy them. If you turn back the closed session items, I will restore them.
I can hang on to it if I.